Hey guys, it's Diane. Today I'm going to be talking about mother-in-laws. Do any of you have any experiences that are not good with mother-in-laws? I did. Okay, this is my second marriage. Started dating this guy I went to school with, actually. One day he called me. I was at my parents' house visiting. I didn't live with them. I had 2 children. I actually lived in another town. But he was in town where my parents were, so he called and asked if I wanted to go riding around. And I went, yeah, okay, I guess so. I was at my mom's, who had a pool, and I was dressed for a pool. I had on short shorts and some kind of a halter top, which was appropriate for where I was. Now, he just wanted to ride around, probably talk or something. So I said, okay. So we leave my parents' house, and he pulls up at this strange house. And I said, where are we? What are you doing? He said, this is my aunt and uncle's house. And I said, I'm not exactly dressed to meet your aunt and uncle. And he said, my parents are here. And I went, I wanted to scream, but I was so shy, whatever you want to call it, unassuming, don't rock the boat. So I got out and went in, and oh my God, his aunt and uncle was there with their children who were my age and their children, and his mom and dad and his sister, and they're all just sitting in the living room, and here I am walking in like, I don't know, a tramp or something. I just don't know what they thought of me. And I sat down and tried to make polite conversation. I was so upset. I wanted to just start crying, is what I wanted to do. That's when his mom first met me. You probably wouldn't have liked me either had you been his mom. I don't know. He should not have done that. I think he wanted to show me off or something. That didn't turn out too well. Anyway, we got married. He pulled the same stunt many, many times. We would go to the drugstore to pick up something. Guess what? We ended up at his parents' house, unannounced. I didn't know we were going there. Could he not have said, oh, I thought we'd drop by Mom and Dad to see how they're doing? No. And if we ever dropped by, it was a 2 to 4 hour ordeal or more. I just think he should have been more open, like talked to me occasionally, told me something, except what happened at work. Told me something important, like we're going to my mom's. Well, half the time, his mom would not even speak to me. I would say hello, call her name. Now the dad, he was so sweet. Oh my God, I loved him. He was just like my daddy. They had the same personality. Everyone loved him. Just a great guy. Kind of quiet. Just a great guy. I loved him so much. But she would not speak or walk off or turn her head. She didn't like me, and I knew it. But I'm nice, and I would never say anything bad to anyone or hurt anyone's feelings. So I just lived with it and hoping that one day she would like me forget loving me, just liking me. Well, later on, almost every Sunday, we would end up at their house for hours. Hours. Usually my kids were with my mom and dad. On the weekends, they loved to keep them. So, my husband, ex-husband, and his dad would be watching a game or something like that. So me and the mom and the sister would end up in the living room, just sitting there, very uncomfortably, trying to think of things to talk about. Now, this is years after I've been married to him. Years. And it's uncomfortable. Well, the things they talked about, and I'm just being brutally honest here, they would talk about other people, make fun of them and laugh, and just stuff like that. Just superficial stuff, just like the husband, superficial. Never talked about anything important or deep or kind or loving. No. And I'm sorry I'm getting upset just talking about it, but I didn't come from that kind of people. I came from a loving, fun-loving bunch of people who sat around and sang all the time when they got together. Sang church songs, and that's who I came from. I didn't come from this hateful kind of person. Anyway, so one Sunday, we're in the living room. One of them said, I've got to go to Dollar General to get so-and-so, so-and-so. So we all piled in the car and went to Dollar General. Now let me tell you first, both of my children that I had at the time were blonde. They were blonde. Okay, we're in Dollar General, and there are some children acting up, running around, climbing under things, and my mother-in-law and I were standing side by side looking at some shirts or something like that. And she said, I can't stand blonde-headed kids. I think all kids should have dark hair. I just can't stand to be around them. And I'm thinking, oh my God, my children are blonde. And she said, oh, now I don't mean your children. I don't mean your children. I mean the children like these kids in here. What does that mean? Oh, shit. Well, I won't go any further. So I've always had a knack for decorating, knowing how to place things, making a room look good. I can redo a room and make it look good, and it looked like crap before. Well, she would say, I wished I had a bedroom that looked like this. I wished I had a living room that looked like this. I wish my porch looked like this. I wished I had a fish pond. I built a fish pond in my backyard. It was great. I'll tell you about that in another video, because it was great. So every time she said something like that, I would go, okay, I can redo her bedroom, and maybe she'll like me. I used my own money, not her son's money, my money, painted it, bought her new things, made new curtains, and I'd surprise her. I wouldn't let her see it till I got done. And the sister, my husband's sister, would always help me. She thought that was fun too, but, she was just like her mother. She was. I loved her. She was my sister-in-law. But anyway, I redid her entire house, room by room, over the years, and some rooms twice, at my own expense. I never asked her for a dang penny. And one day my mom said to me, "You know, Diane, you can keep redoing her rooms all you want to. She's not ever going to like you." I'd never told my mom I was doing that so she'd like me. I guess she just figured it out. So, anyway, I got to tell you about a dinner from hell. Now, my husband and I had just bought an old farmhouse. We were going to fix it up and add on to it because I had had another child by then, which was his first child. So we bought the farmhouse because he didn't want to live in the house where I lived with another husband. So, okay. That's what we did. So after we got moved in and settled, I invited his parents for dinner. I'm nice. I'm a nice person. So it's summertime. They come up. I'm in the kitchen preparing dinner. And they go outside. And they don't come back in. And okay, dinner's on the table. We're ready to eat. So I go to the door. And they're standing in a huddle out by their car. And I say, "Hey, dinner's ready." No one pays any attention to me. And I'm going, "Oh crap, what's going on?" So I walk up there, and the mother-in-law says, "We're leaving." "Why?" "Why?" I said. "Well, because of the way you treated us when you were moving." And I said, "What do you mean?" "Oh, what do you mean?" Well, of course, I started crying immediately. And she said, I had cousins that were helping us move. My family was helping us move. His family was helping us move. And on one load, going back to town to get another load, for some reason, she and the sister-in-law were left sitting on the front porch. Well, I didn't know that. I was in a truck with 2 other people. We were going to get another load. Were we supposed to ask them to jump in the back of the truck? I don't know. I don't know. But they were pissed about it. And they were leaving. And she said, "I don't know why he married you in the first place. I've never been able to figure that out." And I went, "Oh, shit." And I can't say anything. I don't confront. I don't take up for myself. I just stood there like an idiot and cried. I don't know. They left. Big dinner I cooked. They weren't there to eat it. But you know what? The father came to me later and said, "I'm so sorry, Diane. That's just the way they are. And I can't do anything about it. Please, please don't take it out on my son." And he was so kind. And I just said, okay. So I started going back like nothing had happened. She didn't like me, and I knew it, and I had to pretend to be family when I was there. I never gave up. I never gave up. When she was dying of cancer, I went by a couple of times and took care of her, or else everybody else did something else. And when she died, I was there. I was telling her I loved her as she was dying. I told her that we all loved her as she was taking her last breaths. I was a good daughter-in-law. I was a good daughter-in-law. I'm patting myself on the back because I was a good daughter-in-law. But I got so tired of tiptoeing around all of them. The two, well, three of them. Like I said, the dad was a dear, lovely person. I loved him dearly. But I wonder why. I really wonder why I stuck out. I stuck that out. Hung in there for all those years when I was constantly being disrespected and not valued at all. I'm thinking if you have to try harder than usual to have a relationship, then the relationship is not worth having. I swear to you, I know that I should have walked out on that whole family much, much, much sooner than I did. Okay, that's all I got. Do you have a mother-in-law story? I'd like to hear it. Share it with me. I'll see you guys next time. Love's coming your way.